Hello everybody, this is Mrs. McCauley. So today we're going to go over this page, My Five Friends, and it's the long I. It's the long I with the silent E, or the mommy E. Okay? So go ahead and write your name here at the top. I'm going to write my name. Okay, go right ahead. And as you're writing your name, I want to remind you that if I'm going too quickly at any time during the video, you can pause as many times as you need to pause to catch up, okay? Don't wait for me to say pause now. You just go ahead and pause whenever you need it, okay? Because this is your time. All right, so we're going to go over the standard. The standard is RF, Reading Foundations 1.4, which is first grade number 4. Read with accuracy and fluency to support comprehension. What does that mean? That means we're going to practice reading as correctly and as quickly as we can, but we still understand what we're reading. Because if you're reading too quickly and you don't understand what you read, that's not good. If you're reading and you're making a lot of mistakes with the words, you're not going to understand what you read. So you want to read as many words as you can correctly and quickly enough that you're able to understand what you read. That's the important part, is understanding. Okay, then we're going to answer these questions. So the first thing we got to do is we're going to go over and we're going to color all the words that have the long I, silent E, okay, with a yellow crayon. So go ahead and get your yellow crayon. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so we can see it a little better. Okay, so see the word five? Let's color in the word five because it has the long I, silent E. Now I'm going to move through this part quickly, so keep pausing as many times as you need to catch up. So see the word five? I have five. We're going to color in that word five because it's got a long I, silent E. Okay. I have five nice. Let's color in the word nice because it also has a long I, silent E. Okay. I have five nice friends we like. Look, it like also has the long I, silent E. So let's color that in. And again, pause as many times as you need, okay? To play. We ride. See the word ride? It's got the long I, silent E. So, because without that silent E, it's the word rid. But with the silent E, it's the word ride. So I'm going to color that in. Okay. Okay, we ride our bikes. Bikes. Without that silent E, it would be bic. But with that silent E, it's the word bike. So I'm going to color in bikes. Okay. We ride our bikes all the time. See the word time? It's got the long I, silent E. Without that silent E, it would be Tim. With the silent E, this changes to I, time. Let's color that in. Okay. We go down the slide. You see the slide? Without that silent E, it slid. With that silent E, the I become, the I changes to an I, slide. Let's color that in. Okay, you see the word sometimes? There's a long I, silent E right there in the times part. So let's color that in. Times. This word sometimes, this is a compound word. It's the word some and times put together. Okay, and there's another like, just like we had here. So let's color that in because it has that long I, silent E. Without that silent E, it would be lick. But because we have a silent E, it's like. Okay, sometimes we like to hide. Without that silent E, it's the word hid. With that silent E, it becomes hide. Go ahead and color that in. Okay, and remember, times, the times part of the word sometimes has that long I, silent E. Let's color that in. And if I'm going too fast, just pause the video as many times as you need. Sometimes we fly our kites. You see the word kites? It's got that silent E at the end. Without that silent E, it's the word kit. With the silent E, it's kite. Let's color that one in. Okay, sometimes we fly our kites in the sky. Playing with them makes me smile. See the word smile? Without that silent E, it's smil. With that silent E, it's smile. So let's color that in, smile. Okay. I just love these friends of mine. Without that silent E, it's the word min. With that silent E, it's mine. Like these are my friends of mine. So let's color that in. Okay. Okay. Hopefully you finished coloring all the words together that we just did together. If you didn't, pause the video and finish it up, okay? Because we're going to start reading it. But before we read, we want to go over the first question. And we're going to read this 3 times. But before we read the first time, we're going to read this question so we can answer it. Here we go. How many friends does the author have? How many friends does the author have? What is an author? Yeah, it's the person writing the story, right? The person telling the story. All right, let's see how many friends. Ready? Here we go. Ready? Begin. My 5 friends. I have, I'm going to read and you're going to repeat, okay? So me first, then you. I have 5 nice friends. Repeat. Great job. My turn. Here I go. We like to play. Repeat. Great. My turn. Here I go. We ride our bikes all the time. Repeat. Great job. My turn. We go down the slide. Your turn. Great job. My turn. Here I go. Sometimes we like to hide. Repeat. Okay, my turn. Here I go. Sometimes we fly our kites in the sky. Repeat. Great job. My turn. Here I go. Playing with them makes me smile. Repeat. Great job. My turn. Here I go. I just love these friends of mine. Repeat. Okay, great job repeating. Let's color in that first page because we just read our story first time. Okay, so let's find that answer. How many friends does the author have? Can you see? Yeah, the answer is right here in the first sentence. I have 5 nice friends. Can you underline that? Because that's the answer. And put a 1 next to it. So this is the answer for number 1. I have 5 nice friends. So how many friends does he have? 5, right? So let's write that down here, 5. Okay, you see how I went below that line? I got to erase that because that doesn't look neat. All my letters need to stay between the lines unless it's got a tail. So go ahead and write down 5. Okay, hopefully you finished answering this question and you're ready to move on to question number 2. If you're not, pause the video so you can finish writing it down. Okay, question number 2. Let's read it. Me first and then you repeat, okay? What are 2 things the friends like to do? Repeat. Okay, so we're going to look for 2 things they like to do. So we're going to read it again and keep in mind the 2 things the friends like to do. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. We're going to read it together. Choral reading. Ready? Begin. My 5 friends. Okay. Together with me, okay? Don't forget, we're reading it together. I have 5 nice friends. We like to play. We ride our bikes all the time. We go down the slide. Sometimes we like to hide. Sometimes we fly our kites in the sky. Playing with them makes me smile. I just love these friends of mine. Okay, we read it the second time. Let's color that in. So look at the article and find 1 thing the friends like to do. It says here, sometimes we like to hide. Let's underline that one. Sometimes we like to hide. And let's put number 2 on it, because that's the part of the answer to number 2. Okay, so let's write that down. They like to hide. Right here. They like to hide. They and then 1 finger space. Like they like to hide. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to copy that down, okay? I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it better. Go ahead and copy that down. Okay, if you have not finished copying that down, please pause the video, okay? Because we're going to go on to the second part of that question, which is, what's the other thing they like to do? So we're going to read it one more time and find the answer to what's the other thing they like to do, okay? And we're going to do it call reading again. You and me together at the same time. Okay? So put your finger right here on the title. Ready? Begin. My 5 friends. I have 5 nice friends. We like to play. We ride our bikes all the time. We go down the slide. Sometimes we like to hide. Sometimes we fly our kites in the sky. Playing with them makes me smile. I just love these friends of mine. Okay, so let's color in that last happy face because we've read it 3 times now. And it's good to read things again and again because it makes us better readers when we practice. All right, so what's the other thing they like to do besides ride their bikes or hide? Yeah, they like to play, right? It says here we like to play. Or you could say fly our kites. So either one, you can choose we like to play or we like to fly our kites in the sky. You can pick any one of those for this one. They like to play. They like to fly their kites. So what about they like to fly their kites? Okay, let's write that one down. They and then I'm going to put 1 finger space and write like. Okay, so they like, and then 1 finger space, to, they like to, and then fly. They like to fly kites. I'm going to put a period there. Okay, so I wrote, they like to fly kites. If you run out of space here, you have this space down here to finish writing that sentence, okay? Because it might be squishy and you might not be able to fit it all in, but you can fit it down here. So go ahead and write, they like to fly kites, or you can write, they like to play. Either one. Okay? Or they like to ride bikes. Whichever one you want to write down, okay? Go ahead and write it down. And when you're done with this homework. Okay? Bye.